Hello and good evening. My name is Nilay Patel and I am the owner and designer here at Silver Silk & More, and I wanted to show you guys a fun and quick and easy project using some Pearlesque chain. You could even use capture chain, and I'm going to use these materials to create a fun and fabulous earring design that you guys can do in minutes. I'm so excited about the other materials that I'll be using because I love to incorporate other products from companies that I love working with, and today I happen to be using Jesse James beads and Softflex wire, and I'm going to try and combine some of this with some silver silk and try and get a really cool textured design together. What I'm going to do is flip the camera around and I'm going to sketch out a quick design for you guys, and we are going to make a pair of earrings together. Okay, so sometimes it is just a basic shape and all we're doing is embellishing on top of that. So my idea here is that I want to use a double strand end cap. Ourselves is like, what can we do that's different to it this time? So what I thought is that we could take some of these beautiful materials that we have with Jesse James beads, of course the beads, maybe some of the tassels, and I want to see if we can do something really unusual and cool and try and combine some of these things into the outer parts of this silver silk. So we're going to get lots of texture. We're going to get lots of different size variation and contrast. And wait till you see the beads that I've picked out. I think it's going to be very, very attractive looking pair of earrings. Where the Softflex wire comes in, because I did want to use the medium-sized in silver of the extreme, is that I want to try and get some larger pieces in here so that it's not super dainty, and really kind of see if we can take the beading wire and add it to our design to get this really unusual tassel effect happening. So something to that effect, and just so we're complete here with our sketching, I'm gonna go ahead and do that again. There we go. Sketching does not have to be perfect. It is just a way to document your ideas. So do not even worry about it looking super perfect. I just do this to give myself a quick idea of what I'm doing. And then whenever I'm actually in production of the real design, that's when all the magic happens. But as you can see, I'm just kind of quickly getting a sketch. It's not even super detailed, actually. Gives me an idea of what I want to go for. So something like that. Okay, so as I mentioned, I'm going to be using some really fun materials. The first is our double strand end caps. Now these are really cool. There's 2 chambers in my double strand end caps, and within these chambers are teeth that grasp onto the knitted wire. You can use this with capture wire, and you can use this with the Pearlesque wire. So I just need a set of those, and I went ahead and attached them to the earring hooks. You can of course use posts if that's your preference. It's totally up to you. I want to use some extreme Softflex wire, so we'll set that aside, probably over here. We are going to be using some fabulous Jesse James beads. Now this collection of beads is awesome. I am in love with this particular color palette. I think it's just a really, really great one to work with, and so I'll be picking out beads from that. For the base of my earring, though, I wanted to use the antique copper Pearlesque chain. This is so sparkly, so pretty. I mean, what makes it Pearlesque is this beautiful rainbow tinsel that's knitted on top of this ball chain. And then you have another layer of this copper knitted wire. So it's multi-layered and you get some really neat effects out of it. So I have a scrap of it that I love to use with this design, and I think it'll go really well with the color palette. I also have these really fun head pins that have a little jewel on the end, a little rhinestone. So I would love to use those. That as well came from Jesse James Beads. And then I just have a random knickknack stash of seed beads and stuff too. So I will probably try and add as much flair to this as I can within reason. The first thing I want to do is, of course, create my shape. So I'm actually going to go ahead and kind of pick out a size that I think will work for this. I think that's probably a good size right there. This is maybe about 2.5 inches. I don't want these to be super big. I want them to be more tassel-y than anything. So might even take it down a little bit. But whatever you decide to cut, go ahead and cut a duplicate. That way you don't have to worry about it later. So just match them up. Get them nice and straight, and then go ahead and trim. Just like that. Get those little things out of the way. Whoops. Cool. So now what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and insert my wire of both ends into the channels of the end cap, just like that. And I'm actually thinking I want that a little bit shorter, to be honest. So I'm going to cut this down even more. So let's cut about that much off. See where we land. As I said, I really want these to be super dainty on the skeleton portion of it. So when we add those beads and stuff, I think it'll start to pick up a lot more weight. Visual weight, that is, not actual weight. Although it would probably affect that too. So that looks pretty good to me. I just want some cutesy little dainty earrings. So that's perfect. All right. What I'm going to do is take my nylon jaw pliers and go ahead and crimp down. You'll know that it's crimped whenever you see that seam completely closed. And if there is a piece of wire, which in this case it's sticking out, go ahead and just trim it off. It's not gonna hurt anybody. And we'll save the other earring for later for now. And yeah, so we got our base to start with, so that was pretty easy. Now we can kind of pick and choose. This is a fun part. We get to design how we want our beads to go on. So as you can see, that's already a pretty good sized bead. And I got some really cool tassels, so we'll add those in. Maybe we want to add some of these really great rhinestone head pins with our beads in there too. So that looks good. Maybe it's a little bit further out. So maybe we can try and put in 5 elements and then embellish it in between with the beading wire. How does that sound? And I don't think I want it symmetrical either, because that would, for me, take the fun out of it. But certainly we can get a couple of these cool rhinestone head pins in. So let's string this bad boy on. One of these copper wire beads. It's kind of hard to see where the hole is for it, but I guess you can kind of just maybe guess, take a guess. Or does it have a hole is the question. No, maybe that one might not work out. Pick a different one. But this really great pearl. That's nice. So maybe we put that there, and then since we kind of want to mix things up, maybe another tassel. I've got plenty of them on that side. So that might work pretty good for me. And then again, we can kind of continue that visual weight with the beading wire. So now to attach these things, and you know what? I think I have enough head pins to completely do all of these in the decorated head pins. That might be kind of nice. Oh, I like that. Okay, so now we can kind of figure out how to connect everything. So to my head pin, I'm going to go ahead and trim off, and I'm just going to do a series of simple loops here. I'm not going to do anything too elaborate. So I'll simply cut it off and grab a pair of round nose pliers, and I'm just going to go ahead and twist it around to make myself a perfect little P-shaped loop. P meaning that way. And then what I'm going to do is go back on that loop and twist the neck back so that it is a symmetrical loop. So once you've done this enough time, guys, you will get so great at it, I promise. And I'm going to go and do this to all of them at once. That way you can just get that process out of the way. Perfect. And if you over bend it like I did, just simply put it back into your pliers and go ahead and twist up, and that way your loop closes just like that. Okay. Go. Perfect. Go ahead and adjust that loop a little bit. Now it's like, well, how do we connect all of this to my earring form? Well, really easy, I promise. All you need is a beading awl, which I have here with me somewhere. It's on my table. And I'm going to start in the middle of my earring because that's where I want the first loop, or the first set of beads to go. I'm just going to put my beading awl in and carefully kind of pull that wire out. That'll give me just enough room to attach my simple loop. So all you do is you take your simple loop and you're going to open it up just like that. And you're going to go ahead and connect that right into might be a little tricky because it is a little bit of a close space there, but if you pull this out enough, it should hopefully just string right through. There we go. Perfect. So now you just simply close that back down, making sure that there is no gap in your little simple loop, and it'll just dangle perfectly. You can even push that wire back in a little bit to make it even more secure, just like that. And so now with these tassels, what I'm going to do is actually attach a jump ring to them. Just like that. I've got these little baby jump rings, and same process here. I'm going to find a spot on my earring and go ahead and insert my beading awl in, press it upward, open up my jump ring, and attach both the knitted wire and my tassel to them at the same time. So there we go. And there we go. Perfect. There, just like that. Cool. So now I'll just kind of work my way around. I'll probably want to attach that there. So let's see. Go ahead and open this up with my beading awl. So as you can see, this technique, this idea is super easy. And again, I know that many of you have used this shape before, but maybe didn't know how to connect newer elements to it, or haven't really tried this idea, but this might be kind of fun to experiment with. And lucky for us, Jesse James Beads does a great job of mixing and matching a lot of beads together, and so that kind of cuts down on half the work. You can really use their design elements and inspirations mix because they have the smaller beads for this type of work, and it'll help to make this process of choosing which beads to use much easier. All you get to do is just pick a mix that you love as far as the colors and shapes and styles go. But truly, this is, I think, the magic of silver silk, is that you can really take your designing to a whole nother level just with these different techniques. And I don't know of another chain out there that can really be utilized quite like this, so I think that makes it extra special. Fabulous. And my last tassel for this guy. Doesn't really matter which order you do this in. You can certainly find a style or method of working that works for you and just run with it. Really, it's the end product that you're worried about, or that you should be worried about, and making sure that all the professional check marks are there as far as, did you crimp correctly? Did you make sure to close all the jump rings efficiently? Just things like that. If you haven't, then it's good to go back and check those things just in case. So this looks pretty amazing to me so far. I love it. And now we get to do the fun part, which is adding in our beading wire. So this will be a fun little process. What I'm going to do is just cut out about a foot, and I'll probably just use up all of it depending on how many times I do this. Maybe not even quite a foot, maybe even 10 inches of this will work. And it's going to be the same process here. So I'm actually going to go ahead and cut maybe like 2.5 inches. And string it through the silver silk just like that. And I can kind of figure out a way. I'm probably going to crimp it at the top here, and then probably have some beads on here, some of my seed beads. And so I'll need some crimps, which I have right here. There we go. And I'm going to do this fairly close to my silver silk and grab a pair of crimpers. I'm going to use a pair of Zuron crimpers for this. I'm going to go ahead and take it into the last notch. Go ahead and squeeze it all the way down so I get this sort of moon shape. And take it into my center notch of my crimp pliers on the side so that the moon is sort of on its side like that, and press it together. So that'll give me a pretty secure crimp. And now I can kind of add some seed beads to this and do the same process for crimping at the bottom. So I think what I'm going to do is add about 3 of these little seed beads. Of course, you don't have to do this. You can continue to just add Jesse James beads, but I think this kind of gives it a little extra something as far as texture and design goes. And we could even just do it on the one for each of these, just to add a little something extra. And same method again. Just going to go ahead and do a folded crimp. Just like that. And what I might do is actually trim a little bit of my wire off. So on this we can get pretty close. And then this one I'll probably just stagger it a little bit and have it maybe out there. Cool. So now I'll do another one on this side, I think. All right, maybe over here. And I think I need some more crimps. Okay, that looks good. Ooh, sometimes it'll want to move around on you, but if you can grab it, that is a good sign. There we are. Perfect. So I'll probably have another one out here, but I can go ahead and get the seed beads on this one. There we go. Cool. There we go. And I'm going to trim this and stagger that. And I think I'll do one more just for safe measure and balance to my design. So we've got a little piece of wire left, which is the perfect size. And we'll go ahead and just go all the way out here. Let's see. Maybe in between these guys, I think that'll be perfect. And if your wire is not going through, you can absolutely get the help of your beading wire, your beading awl again, and kind of just lift, whoops, a couple of those knits up, and then fold them together. There we go. Perfecto. Okay. Now I just need to string some seed beads on, and I am practically done with an earring. And so I would repeat the same exact style and method to my second earring. To bring it all together. And as you can see, I did this in no time. I think the toughest part of this project was probably figuring out what kind of design I wanted, and maybe some of the technique, and trying to execute several different techniques into one design. So it could be a little challenging, but it's also definitely a lot of fun. There we go. Not bad. Not bad for mixed media and some very easy basic techniques. And look at how it's very closely related to my sketch. Alright, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial tonight. It is always a pleasure to bring you new, fun, and inspirational projects using silver silk. What I'll do is I'll wrap up this design tonight. I'll take a picture of it and I'll post it to Facebook. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate it, and I love bringing you guys new, fresh ideas here on the YouTube channel. And don't forget to check out the website, www.silversilkonline.com, for more of the products that I'm using tonight. With that, I leave you guys hopefully inspired. I will see you again next Tuesday, and with a fresh, brand new tutorial. And until then, you guys have a wonderful evening, and I'll catch you soon. Bye.